When Marjorie Taylor was expelled from her mother's womb into the world on a warm morning in Midgeville, Georgia, she knew she was destined for greatness. She knew she would rise to greatness. She knew she would rise to any challenge, defeat any enemy, plow through any wall. She would overcome. Born into white privilege, Marge grew up in the Atlanta suburbs. She developed a love of knowledge, a love of learning, a love of reading, even devoting an inordinate amount of time to reading the Atlanta phone book. Her love of reading and thirst for knowledge was clearly instilled by her father, who wrote a non-best-selling book and formulated a crackpot theory of picking stocks based on the gravitational fluctuations of the planet God gave us. This desire for seeking out alternate facts and realities would clearly shape Marge's ability to dissect disparate facets of information and formulate not just the reality that we live in, but our reality. Her quest for education would take Marge to the fifth best diploma mill in the state of Georgia, also the first public university in the U.S. Okay, this is technically true, but it's more like that's what they like to tell everyone. The truth is, it received its charter in 1785. Shit. They didn't even know where classes were going to be held until the next century. Anyway, the University of North Carolina, go Heels, would like a word. It was at this esteemed institution that while studying and reading up on the Atlanta phone book, she met and married Perry Greene. While also conducting her marital duties, she was able to graduate from Georgia's fifth best diploma mill with a bachelor's of business administration, which she used, or didn't use, as vice president of her husband's company. It was after she decided to step away from her husband's business and after she finished the J's in the phone book, which was really arduous as there are a lot of Joneses and Johnsons in that section, that she discovered her love of CrossFit and wanton adulterous sex. This was the time she faced her first major obstacle that she had to overcome. One of the individuals that she had adulterous sex with was this man. He doesn't appear that interesting, so we'll move on. But this guy is the interesting one. It is clear why she was drawn to this man, also known as the tantric sex guru, who also resembles Street Fighter's Zangief. Without a doubt, the passion and adulterous affair were stupendous. But it wasn't the obstacle to her Christian marriage that Marge overcame. It was the pull of the tantric sex guru that she overcame. The guru would relocate to Washington State to live in some trailer and fully embrace the polyamorous lifestyle that Marge so desired. She was able to overcome her desires and remain with her faithful husband. Heroic is a term used to describe a lot of people. Marge began using her business administration degree from the fifth best diploma mill in Georgia to begin writing for American Truth Seekers, an online periodical created in direct opposition to Fox News, as the right-wing media outlet would not report on values and information that real conservatives cared about. That's when she discovered Q. Q would shape Marge's future and convince her to position herself, to acquire a greater voice to condemn the satanic, baby blood-drinking, pedophile-worshipping New World Order created by Hillary Clinton.
The fact, because we see all these sealed federal indictments and we're seeing all these other things happen, and there's sources like, he's anonymous, Q is anonymous, but he seems to be completely for the good. He seems to be totally on Trump's side, and he seems to be very high up and connected. So because of those things, I'm becoming more hopeful, and I'm not being as pessimistic, and I'm trying to stop saying it's never going to happen, because I really think it might happen. So I'm very excited about that. Now, there's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to take this global cable of Satan-worshiping pedophiles out, and I think we have the president to do it. And so I'm very excited about that.
Anyway, she was elected to Congress in 2020 and started serving in January 2021. Calling upon her education, Q research, CrossFit experience, and adulterous affairs, she worked tirelessly to create a military takeover of the United States of America. But she would have to overcome another obstacle, the obstacle of her own memory. she would excellently overcome that as well.
I'll ask about a couple of other things. Prior to the inauguration in 2021, did you advocate for martial law with the President of the United States?
I don't recall.
You know President Trump, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's supported you politically, right?
Yes.
And obviously a very important person in general, right?
Yes.
And
45th President of the United States. I
you've had
consider
a
that
number
very
of meetings
important.
with him, right?
Yes.
And you had meetings with him between the election in 2020 and January 20th of 2021, right?
Yes.
And in those meetings, you discussed with him your advocacy for the idea that there should be martial law declared in the United States.
No, I don't recall ever discussing that.
Well, are you saying it didn't happen, or are you saying you don't know one way or the other?
I don't recall ever discussing that.
Did you discuss that topic, the idea that there should be martial law declared in the United States prior to the inauguration of President Biden?
Your Honor, I'm going to have to object. I actually represent the President of the United States, and that's covered by executive privilege. She can't give me any of this conversation.
Executive privilege, she's not a member of the executive, and this counsel is here on her behalf, not on Mr. Trump's behalf, unless there's something I missed. It's not a proper objection, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, I got flustered. What was the question again?
The question was whether, prior to the inauguration of Joe Biden, Ms. Greene, whether you ever advocated for martial law to be imposed in a conversation with the Chief of Staff of then President of the United States, Mr. Trump.
You can answer the question.
I don't recall.
Thank you.
Did you ever advocate for martial law prior to the inauguration of Mr. Biden with any member of the White House staff that was part of the Trump administration?
I don't recall.
Are you aware of any other elected congressional representatives advocating for martial law to stop the peaceful transfer of power before the inauguration of Mr. Biden?
I don't remember.
We must now talk about Marge's loves. Not her husband, because Perry just couldn't handle all the love that Marge had to give. Rather, her love for extremist bartender and New York resident Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She loves our president.
Joe Biden, you're not a president. You're a piece of shit.
She loves both black people and lazy white people.
I know a ton of white people that are as lazy and sorry and probably worse than black people I know.
She loves reading the phone book. She loves hot, adulterous sex with guys that look like video game characters. She loves balloons. She loves America, and America loves her back. Marjorie Taylor Greene, proponent of tyrannical military takeover, single working mom, lover of phone books, fashion icon, American. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Overcoming. Coming soon to a bookstore or a satanic device to allow you to listen to or read on your Beelzebub created screen.